So the next speaker is Amandeep Kaur, and the title is Exotic Searches by Atlas and CMS. Please, 30 minutes.
Uh, Hello everyone. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, very, very well.
Okay. So I hope you can see the slides. I'm not sure actually. Um, do you see the slides?
Yeah.
Okay. So due to the bandwidth issues, I have to keep my video off. First of all, good afternoon everyone. So this is Amandeep Kaur and I will talk about the exotics exotic searches that has been performed by Atlas and CMS. Thanks to the organizers for having me here to present the results for Atlas and CMS. So first, I will just give a brief introduction about these two detectors, which are actually situated at the LSE ring and almost in opposite direction to each other. And these detectors actually led to the discovery of Higgs boson in 2012. So with successful data taking during run 2, which ended in 2018, these detectors have recorded luminosity, integrated luminosity of about 139 femto1 inverse of data at 13 TeV. And so with this large center of mass energy and luminosity, it gives a unique opportunity to investigate different extensions of standard model and to search for rare decays. But we have a challenge ahead of us, which is because of the occurrence of a number of interactions, simultaneous interactions in each punch crossing. So like in the 2018, we have the mean number of mean number of interactions occurring around 37. So next, the question that we would like to ask in to search for the beyond standard model is why actually we need to look for a beyond standard model. So we know that the standard model successfully, it explains very beautifully and very nicely the interaction, the structure of matter and the interactions between them, but still it fails to answer many important questions like the inclusion of fourth fundamental force, that is gravitational force, why we have only 5% of matter made up of ordinarily standard model particles in the universe, and actually what is actually a dark matter. So another set of questions like why there are only 3 families of quarks and leptons, and if there is a more fundamental theory of which this standard model theory is just a low energy approximation. So to answer these questions, new models beyond standard model, they have evolved with time and they predict new phenomena and new particles at TeV scale. So it would be interesting to look for beyond standard model to answer these questions. So now the question is, what do we actually expect beyond standard model? So we look for new resonances, which are actually one of the easy way to look, because of we search for a bump or we search for an excess over the smoothly falling standard model predictions or backgrounds. And we look for actually dark matter to answer the questions of what is dark matter and what is the interaction of dark matter with standard model particles. We look for long-lived particles which can actually answer the questions for matter and antimatter asymmetry, and then we look for these new quarks which can answer questions for a lepton, why they are same number of leptons in quark generations. So moving to the first talking about the resonances. So as I mentioned that resonances are quite easy signatures if we tackle issues like backgrounds and other issues, technical issues. So but what we do in resonances is we search for a bump over a smoothly falling standard model background. So these resonances actually can decay to dilepton pairs or to top quark pairs or dijets, which and also to the dibosons. So there are extensive search program by CMS and Atlas in this sector, but we will just focus on very brand new and recent results by CMS and Atlas in this sector. So first of all, I would like to highlight this digest resonance search that has been performed by CMS, and in this particular search, this search is actually performed for masses greater than 1.8 TeV for the search of both narrow and broad resonances. So in this particular search, there is to reduce the analysis sensitivity towards the final state radiations. These close by jets, which are of delta zero point 0.4, they are combined to form a wide jet, and this actually enhances the analysis sensitivity. And one of the another thing which has been done is apart from the traditional fit method that we utilize to predict to estimate the background, a new method called ratio method has been used for digest invariant mass greater than 2.4 TeV, which actually derives the estimation of the background from the control region, unlike fit method, which actually drives the background from the signal region. So in this, using this ratio method along with the fit method, for the broad resonances, the sensitivity has improved significantly. So with this, we can see here the digest invariance mass distribution, and we can see that the data agrees well with the standard model predictions, and no excess has been found. And we can set then limits to the cross-section times branch ratio to and times acceptant as a function of resonance mass for different resonances like W prime, Z prime, or dark matter or graviton. Then moving to this another very interesting search by CMS. So in this particular search, this search is performed for at low masses. So I would like to point out that to search for a resonance, basically a digest resonance at low masses is a challenge because of the multi-jet background or a QCD background, which which its cross section is very large at low masses. So for that, actually, this very different technique has been used, which is called data scouting, and which is used to collect the data and further analysis. So in this data scouting technique, data is recorded using only the calorimeter based information with the lower PT thresholds and backgrounds, and in this the background is estimated using giving parametric fit to the data, as you can see on the left hand side plot. So we can see here that the figure here shows expected digest mass distribution of resonance signals for masses 700 GeV, 550 GeV, and 400 GeV. And we can see that the data and the standard model predictions agrees well, and no excess has been found in this. So we can then set limits to the cross-section times branching ratio, and as a function of resonance mass, that have been considered in this analysis. So moving to the another important search by Atlas. So this in this particular search, the resonant decays to pair of top quarks, which further decays hadronically. So also in this particular search, new techniques have been used to increase to have improvement to increase the sensitivity towards final state. So as I've mentioned, the jets are actually very challenging to tackle. So because of the QCD background, so in this analysis, a deep neural network technique has been utilized in which the substructure of the jets of large radius jets of R1 1.0 have been looked, and they have been in this way the jets are distinguished like if they are whether from W decay or Z decay or even from QCD. Also for the B tagging, in this case scenario, the variable radius track jet method has been used for highly boosted top quarks, and based on this, the two signal regions have been explored, which is one is with 1B and there is 2B jets in the final state. And we can see here the reconstructed mass of the TT bar system, and in the 1B final state and in the 2B final state, and we can see that data agrees well with the standard model predictions, and no significant deviation has been observed. So with this, the limits has been set to the cross section as a function of masses of z prime for, and we can see that because of improved analysis technique, this limit has lead to 65% improvement in the expected limit at 4 TeV. So next, our another search is the resonance search for the diboson, in which the resonance decays to the pair of diboson. This search actually targets the resonances in from 100 GeV to multi TeV, ranging from 100 TeV to multi TeV, and in different BSM scenarios. And in this, we can either have a standard production of resonance, which can further decay to two bosons, vector bosons, and also we can have a VBF production of this resonance, which further decays to dibosons. So this, if the mass of this resonance is very high, then we can expect that these the vector bosons, the decay product of these dibosons will be highly collimated, and then we need special or new techniques for identification, reconstruction of the objects which are coming from these which are coming from the decay of these vector bosons. So in such dense environment, it is very critical to combine the calorimeter and tracker information. So with the for these kind of searches, CMS and Atlas has improvised their reconstruction techniques very well, and also the background estimation techniques. So I would like to point out this very beautiful event display, in which this is related to the ZH resonance, in which Z decays to two muons that can be seen in red, and at the Higgs decays heteronically. So I will talk about the results of these resonance in upcoming slides. So here on slide number 10, I will first highlight. I would like to highlight the results by Atlas, in which Atlas looked at resonance decay of resonance decay to VH, in which he as I've mentioned previously, also to tag the W or Z jets from W or Z, which is our signal here. We need the algorithm. Atlas has used this new technique called track calor cluster, in which the information of the tracker and the calorimeter is used to tag the jets from W and Z decay, and to distinguish them from the decays of QCD. And also for the identification of B jets, new variable radius track jet B tagging is used, in which the radius of this jet, this large jet, is dependent on the PT of these jets. So as obvious, in the hadronic decay, the multi-jet background or the QCD background is a dominated one, and it is estimated from using BDT, and it is estimated in the zero tag region, and then it is using extrapolations, it is estimated in a signal region, which is either one B jet or two B jet. So various this search has various signal region, like this V could be Z, or this V could be W. So we have ZH1B, ZH2B, or WH1B or WH2B. So here I have shown the one of the Dirac invariance mass distribution for this signal region, which is VH2B, and we can see that the data agrees well with the standard model predictions, and correspondingly the limits has been set to the cross section of Z prime going to this ZH resonance and WH resonance as shown here. Similarly, for the another channel in which we have the semi-leptonic final state, or in which Z goes to 2 nu, and we have a Z goes to 2L when at the Higgs goes to decays hadronically. In that, we have, as I mentioned, the track color cluster algorithm is used in that scenario, and we can see that here the transverse mass distribution of the VH system, in which because we cannot actually have the reconstruct the full mass in the zero lepton final state. So this is the signal region of zero lepton final state, and the transfer mass distribution of the VH system is plotted, and this red color red line is dotted line is the signal, and we can see that no excess has been found over the standard model predictions, and data agrees well with the standard model predictions, and correspondingly the limits has been set for the Z prime going to ZH in both 0 lepton and 2 lepton final states has been set as a function of masses of Z prime. So next, one of the search which is very important by CMS. So CMS actually looked for spin 1 resonances in the boosted regime. So that is the search has been performed for resonances greater than 800 GeV, and this is a similar search which is performed by Atlas that I have explained on the previous slide, in which Z goes either to 2 news or Z decays to 2 leptons. In this search also, with the standard production of the ZH resonance, a VBF production of the ZS resonance is also considered, and limits has been set for both the production modes. So in this, the major background is V plus Z or TT bar or diboson, and we can see that this is a diject mass distribution, and it is divided into signal region, validation region, and sidebands for to have signal depleted region and signal rich region. So we can see that here we have from the BTT training, we have this standard model, the predictions from the data, from the background and the standard data, and this red color is our signal for mass of Z prime to be 2 TeV. And we can see that no excess has been found in this final state, and we can set limits to the cross section of Z prime going to ZH in the non-VBF signal and also in the VBF signal as a function of masses of Z prime. So anything below 3.5 TeV in the non-VBF signal and 3.7 TeV for HV for this model A and B, the Z prime below these masses is excluded, and similarly the limits has been set for the VBF signal also. So next is one of the questions that I have raised in the introduction slides is why we have same number of generations of lepton and quarks. So to answer this question, it is very to answer this question, many models beyond standard model have predicted these new particles called leptoquarks, which carry both lepton and baryon number, and they have fractional charges. These vector quarks can be singly produced or can produce in pairs, and they decay to lepton and eject. So as we can see in this event display. So these searches are actually highly motivated by the B meson anomalies, and here we have this the ratios of branching fraction of D star and D, and this in various experiments have provided these ratios, and we can see this black point is the standard model predictions, and we can see that with the recent results, the 3.1 sigma discrepancy has been observed with the standard model predictions. So moving to the one of the searches performed by Atlas for the leptoquarks. So in this here Atlas has new results on where they look for pair production of leptoquarks that decay to top and tau. So this is the first analysis which looked for this top and tau decays. So depending upon the top decays, either we can have, and also depending upon the lepton flavor, we can have several final states with at least one light lepton and at least one hadronic tau. So for the tagging of hadronic tau, new neural network techniques have been developed, and here we can see the events in the different final states, as I mentioned, which have been considered in this analysis in the signal region. So we can see that the data agrees well with the standard model predictions, and correspondingly limits has been set on the cross section of these leptoquarks decaying to top tau pairs, and as a function of masses of leptoquark. Also, Atlas also looked for a top quark lepton, which is in the fully hadronic final state, in which the top decays hadronically, and we have in this lepton search, we have for different control region, and signal region is looked for with the BDT. And in this final state we have TT bar as a TT bar and the Z plus Z as a major backgrounds, and we can see that in these control regions data and standard model predictions agrees well with the data, and we can set limits on the cross section of these top quad going to either electron top or mu top, and limits are set at 1.4 TeV for the electron channel and 1.47 TeV for the muon channel. So another search which is performed by CMS. So CMS also has new results for singly and pair production of leptoquarks, and we can see here the Feynman diagrams of the pair production and the singly produced leptoquarks. Depending upon the coupling of these decay products, that is either the top quark plus a tau lepton or bottom quark plus neutrino, we can have different final states like top tau nu b or top tau mu. So with this we have a different we have from neutrinos we have high PT miss, we have high HT and one hadronic top candidate and one hadronic tau, and we can look for the scalar transfer sum of all these objects, and here we have the number of events as a function of a scalar sum of all these products. And we can see, depending upon the masses of the leptoquark, this top quark which is produced, it can either be merged or either be resolved. So we can see that here we can see that the data agrees valid with the standard model predictions, and limits are extracted and are depending upon and they have been here the limits have been plotted as a function of this coupling as a function of this masses of leptoquark. So anything, so this actually this gray region is actually the regions which is preferred by the B meson anomalies, and these lines are actually corresponding to the singly or pair production of leptoquarks, and anything which is left in the left of these lines which is excluded. So moving to the search for the dark matter. So as I mentioned now that we keep asking ourselves question that why only the 5% of the matter in the universe is made up of standard model particles, and what is actually a dark matter. So if dark matter exists, and if it couples to the standard model particles like we think, then we will have the pair production of these dark matter particles at the collider experiments or at the LSC, and these dark matter candidates actually escape the detector because of their weakly interacting nature, and we can have the signal as a large missing transverse energy which can be observed with the standard model particle. So several models have predicted this dark matter, and we have like a simplified S channel model in which this mediator that couples to standard model particles and dark sector particles. Also, we can look for more complete models like 2 Higgs doublet model, in which this A is a pseudoscalar which decays to dark matter particles. So here is a very interesting event display which the event has this jet which is recoiling against this large missing transverse energy. So we will go through the results of this analysis in the upcoming slide. So here we have the very interesting search which is performed by Atlas for the dark matter. In this search, different TW channel and T channel has been explored for the production of dark matter. And in this particular search, the Atlas targeted actually the 2 Higgs doublet model, where we have dark matter decaying to single top and dark matter. So we can see here. And in this several final state, depending upon the decays of top, either we can have 1 lepton or 2 lepton in the final state and is explored. And then here we have the number of events in different control region for the prediction of these backgrounds, and we can see that the data is no significant excess is found with respect to the standard model predictions. And 2D limits actually are set for the masses of charged Higgs and masses of this pseudoscalar A. And again, in anything which is inside these, which is left to the these contours is actually excluded. So another search which is very interesting search has been performed by Atlas, and in which we have this is that I was mentioning, that this single jet which recoils against this large missing transverse energy. So we look for events that have jet and large missing transverse energy, and actually this search considered, this is a model independent search, or this search actually has considered many models like axial vector mediated model, or SUSY, or large extra spatial dimension models. Various models have been considered by this search, and here we have basically we look for an excess in the PT recoil of because we have signal large missing transfer energy as our signal. So we can see that the no excess has been found in this and the data agrees well with the standard model predictions. So for this we have the limit set to the cross section for different missing transverse energies bins, and also these limits are set in the plane of this dark matter candidate and masses of this axial vector mediator. And we can see this blue line, which was the result for 36 Fm1 inverse of data, and we can see that with the increased luminosity our limits have improved very much.
Dear
So
Amandeep, I'm very sorry, just 4 minutes left.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Sure.
So next search has been performed by Atlas. This is actually the first result at the LSC that has been recorded. So in this search, the search for this dark matter is produced in association with this dark Higgs, which is represented by this S in this Feynman diagram, which decays to diboson pairs and which decay further hadronically. So to better estimate this dark Higgs resonance, which is decaying to this hadronically, this track assisted reclustered jets technique is used, in which the jets are reclustered with the cone radius of 0.8 based on this R.4 calorimeter jets and tracking information. So with this, we have the signal region, and also the signal region is merged in various ranges of missing transverse energy, and data is overlaid in the signal region, in this control region of 1 mu and this control region of 2 mu. So we can see that in the plot below that this is we have invariant mass of the dark Higgs, and we can see that no significant success has been found, and we can set limits to the cross section as a function of masses of this dark Higgs, and anything greater than this 160 GeV is actually excluded. So next we have this search for dark matter from the CMS, and in this particular search, CMS has a search for the production of dark matter with the VBF topology, and in which this is actually the Higgs actually decays to isolated photon, which is a standard model particle, and this dark photon, which is the predicted which we need to look for. So in this also we have this the fit is for this search, the fit is done to the distribution of transverse mass of this photon plus ETMs, and the cross limits have been set to the branching ratio of Higgs to invisible, that is 2.9%, and combining with the CMS ZH resonance search. Also, we can either scan the masses of Higgs, that is if there is any other Higgs of different mass, and we can set limits to the cross section based on that. So then another unconventional signatures that are interesting to look for are the long-lived particles, which can provide the physics, which can give hint for the physics beyond standard model. And these searches are actually very challenging as experimental point of view because of their non-standard reconstruction, because of their non-standard signatures, we need dedicated triggers and dedicated techniques for background estimation. So here we have the this analysis for the search for long-lived particles, in which by CMS, in which the distinctive topology has been utilized, in which the pair of jets are originating from the secondary vertex, they have been looked for. So this search is actually targeted many models like split SUSY and RPV SUSY models, and this is exotic Higgs model in which the Higgs decays to two scalars, which are actually, of course, these scalars are long lived and which decay hadronically. So a dedicated secondary vertex reconstruction is performed, and this gradient boost decision tree method is used, which utilized actually variables like track multiplicity and impact parameter, and the distance between this primary and secondary vertex as input parameter. So our signal region would be in the high, where we have the high GBDT score, that is score is greater than 0.988, and we can see that in this particular signal region there is no excess has been found, and similarly the limits has been set to the branching ratio of Higgs going to two scalars at 1% for C tau for the decay lengths of 1 millimeter to 1000 millimeter. So the one of the very interesting and the latest results are from Atlas on this question that we keep asking, if why we have same number of families, same number of this lepton and fermion families. So we have actually these neutrino oscillation experiments which have demonstrated that the lepton flavor conservation is actually violated in nature, because also in the standard model there is no fundamental theoretical motivation behind this lepton flavor universality in the fandom, which is actually added in the standard model. So we need to look for the lepton flavor violation. So this search has used Z boson decaying to top tau lepton, and another lepton must decay to either electron or muon with opposite charge. So here we have the transfer mass distribution for the signal. Here we have the transfer mass distribution for the background, in which the background is basically where the jets are faking the tau hadron. And using the neural network technique, this search use the combined neural network distribution is plotted in the signal region for the mu tau final state. Similarly, we considered E tau final state, and we can see that no excess has been found beyond above these standard model prediction backgrounds. So the very stringent limits has been set on the branching ratio of this Z to E tau and Z to mu tau final state, and these actually searches have superseded the otherwise best limits which was provided decade ago by the LAP experiment. So this is very interesting search that has been performed by Atlas. So concluding my talk, so as I mentioned that searching for exotic is both challenging and exciting with the development of new techniques and considering many possible final state, many stringent in many models, for many models and many sectors, these stringent limits have been put, and with increasing efficiency with using different analysis techniques and improved object performances, sensitivity is actually increased, leading to improved units. Several full run 2 results are still yet to come, so stay tuned, and thanks for listening.
Oh, thank you very much. So we don't have any questions in chat. So do I understand correctly that up until now, nothing beyond the standard model predictions has been observed with statistical significance, right?
Yeah, but several like for the LFV, this leptin flavor violation, these result gave a very nice. This result was very interesting to look for because of very stringent limits on the branching ratio of this Z2L tau. Yeah, but yeah, that's true. We still have a lot to cover.
Okay, so thank you very much for your very interesting, informative, impressive report.